that transcript reminds me that, like, a lot of times I'll read that transcript later and it reminds me that I need to maybe talk more like it's going to be a transcript. And then I'm a robot. And that's what a lot of people say that we are around here is robots. And so if we talk like robots, then the transcript will come out right. But I can tell you right now that we're not robots. These guys are not robots. We don't operate like robots. And the transcript may not come out. There might be some slang in there. And we like slang. We like winging it. So anyway, I want to start this thing off just to honor this guy right here, Wyatt Schultz. And I know that our hearts were all heavy when he passed. And I want to just say that, Kirsten, we're with you. How's that? This guy was, I mean, look at that face. I mean, I wrote her a letter and I said, he knows more than everybody, because that's how he operated. So that's how I'll start this thing. And my opening statement would be that we have work to do. This place where wrestling is important, it is understood by our fans, by our administration, by our coaching staff, and most importantly, it is understood by those guys, our roster right there. And because they know how important it is, and because it's important in their lives, they know that we got work to do, and we got work to do, and there is no automatic. I have some concerns, as always, going into seasons, and that doesn't mean that those concerns are like that something like an earthquake is happening, but it's just the natural concerns that there is no automatic. And this NIL stuff, COVID relief year, we have some 7th year seniors. You know, who would ever thought that? We have a lot of 6th year seniors, a lot more than we've ever had. So combine the age with some NIL, combine that with some just automatically crowning you the champion in Detroit. We have to put that aside, and we have to go to work and keep things front and center, what need to be front and center. And that is that we get better every day. We do it in a way that is exciting. We do it in a way that we are performance-minded, that we are entertainers, that it is about scoring points and about getting the job done. At the end of the day, any way you got to get the job done, and you do that with attitude, accountability, work ethic, pizzazz, and all the things that go with Hawkeye wrestling. So that would be my opening statement. We're going to be in Carver Hawkeye Arena. We have sold a record number of season tickets. I don't think that's a secret. And that is not because of this guy or our staff. That is because of these guys and their teammates. Over 10,000 season tickets sold, unheard of, maybe to some people. Does it surprise me? I mean, you got, we'll just say Spencer Lee and Company. But, the company may be a little bit anonymous. But I guess my message to them right now would be, start to compete with your teammate a little bit. Not in an unhealthy way, but he is running away with the hardware. And he's after more. And like we talked about last year, and Terry Brand said it best at a banquet that we had, is we left 9 titles in St. Louis. We took 1 home and we left 9 in St. Louis. So, any questions?
Talk about last spring or whatever, because not everybody had to come back. Can you talk about the process, how it was that they all came back?
I think that these guys can speak for themselves, and I'll speak for them a little bit right now, in that it was not easy, probably, for all of them. For some of them, it was easy. The ones that maybe it wasn't easy for, it was quick. I thought that it might take a little bit longer. But remember that when you use the word brotherhood and culture and camaraderie and things like that, those words that are all synonyms of togetherness, I think it probably made it easier than if they weren't together. And you'll have to talk to them about those decisions, but we love it. We love it.
Because this team is so experienced, is it any different coaching these guys that is almost coaching like graduate students as opposed to undergrads?
I mean, anytime you close your mind and you know everything and you close your mind to wisdom and getting better every day and you think you get to a certain age, you're setting yourself up and you're violating excellency, because an open mind, open ears, open eyes is important to getting better. No matter what you do, whether you're a husband, father, no matter how you're operating, you want to get the best grades in your classes. You want to operate the best way socially, those types of things. You got to have an open mind. It doesn't matter, how old you are. And we talk about that. We talk about that to some of our young guys, where sometimes there's a know-it-all attitude in there. And we love know-it-alls if they really do know it all. But they got to know it all, and then they got to know. They want to know more, and hunger for more and more and more. And that's the know-it-alls we like, the ones that are hungry for more.
Now, since you have some 6th and 7th year guys, did you learn anything from last year with a shortened season that maybe we see some of these guys on a match count this year?
You bring up a really good point, and it's a point that we talk about amongst ourselves as a staff. This season is different. And I've had some pointed conversations with some of these veterans over here that are pretty credentialed, in that this is not like last year. You do not have until January 10th to get ready to step on the mat. We're going early November in an inter squad. We're going middle of November with a dual meet right here in Carver Hawkeye Arena. So you got to speed things up in your head. Weight control, those types of discipline things. Getting your doggone academics in order and keeping them in order. You don't have maybe as much time because we will travel, and so on and so forth. And those things that come in that can be distractions if you're not managing them. And so you got to have that foresight that it is a different year. Really important point.
184 pounds, is that, who's going to go there, how that's going to work out?
We have a returning starter there from a year ago, and we have a returning All-American there from a couple of years ago. Miles Wilson probably will end up there. Miles Wilson's a 74-84. We have lots of depth there, and I'm not a predictor, never have been, and we give them all neck and neck and neck. And whoever else wants to throw their hat in that ring at that weight class. And talking about Miles Wilson, we have 2 guys going to the U23 Worlds in Belgrade, Serbia. They leave Monday, and they'll compete a week from this weekend. And that's Tony Cassiope at heavyweight and Miles Wilson at 86 kilo in the U23 Worlds. So they're kicking it off for us.
Now, when do you expect Tony back in the lineup then, or Miles after the return?
Early November is our season, so we just moved things up a couple of weeks. I don't think they disagree with that, but you can ask them if they're going to take you guys going on vacation, like going to the beach or something after you get back from Serbia? Yeah, see that smile? He loves the mat. Every one of these guys, they love the mat. These guys love the mat. That's the difference between, maybe some years in the past where we've had guys that they tried to get out of practice as soon as possible. And these guys, we got to kick them out of the room. We love it. We love it. It's a blast. It's a blast up there in second floor Carver Hawkeye Arena.
Coach, last year, before some of those duels, I know it was a different year, but there were some, I don't want to call them preview matches, but matches before. Is that something that might continue, or was that just because of last year?
Extra countable matches is a discussion. The Big Ten Conference coaches have met on that. We are very much in favor of that. don't know where it is at the administrative level. It's a good idea, and it's also a good idea to follow football model where these freshmen get limited competitions where they don't trigger a year of eligibility. Only makes sense. It only makes sense.
What's the latest on the new facility?
New facility going to the Board of Regents in February. We're very excited about that. Fundraising, design, and planning are together. We still have some work to do in both those areas, but costs are coming together. We're going to know how much it costs, and we're going to put a bow on it, and then Bobby Telford's going to run out there with a shovel, and he's going to stick it in the ground. Right over there. Right over there.
I want to ask you to speak for any of your guys specifically, but how is a year after a national championship where you have the target on your back different than when you're chasing after, when you're the predator? Now, people are chasing after you.
If you're not a predator in this sport all the time, if you're not hungry for more and you're complacent, it's probably time to take your shoes off and center mat and kiss the mat goodbye. I want to say that we operate the same. We try to win a national title every year, but there's differences. There's differences, and I have some things that go on in our room with some of the new rules that have come up with NIL. And just because somebody's going to pay you money to be a spokesman does not mean that you have arrived forever. You have to continue to earn it. And the riches that you have earned will only grow. And I'm not talking about material riches. I'm talking about all riches. You know what? Thinking bigger. Like, why not win 2 Sullivans and 3 Hodges? And that's not calling Spencer out. I think he's thinking that way, and I know he's thinking that way. And I'm not singling him out. But that's how you got to think. And when you're a predator, you don't think about, there's a target on our back now. You're still on the prowl.
Anything else for Tom?
Yeah, I got one. So the women's program, the application process has ended. Do you have a timeline on, or anything on looking forward on the women's program, maybe when a coach will be named?
I think preliminarily we are in that stage that you talked about, and we'll go through it, and then we'll bring a couple, 3, 4, 5 on campus, whatever it takes, and then we'll figure it out, and it's close. I mean, it's within, probably the clocks will change by the time, we make. But that's a question for Barbara Burke. She's the lead on all this, and we're excited. I'll tell you that. We are really excited about what's on the horizon. But today is about these guys. Today is about these guys. But there is excitement with the women. So, awesome. Thanks. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks, Tom.
Tom will hang around. We got some other assistant coaches here. And